I definitely plugged it up there for you. Clap it.
You know what you made me do?
What?
Drink for that.
I'll drink to that.
Where could you know what it looks like? You remember, right? It's that weird like nunchuck looking thing, and it's got the ring.
Oh yeah. Did I see that over here?
Did you see that?
Or not?
Did it get put on this? Wait. No, it's not there.
What?
It's gonna be like fucking 5 minutes of footage I gotta edit. I was looking.
Oh, I forgot it was so long.
I'm gonna fucking add Benny Hill music. I don't know. What the fuck? Thank you. But what the fuck?
Some things never change.
I know I didn't put it back in there, and you said you didn't. So how did it wind up back in there?
It's fine.
This is some black magic.
It's called leaving me. I always find shit when you can't.
Thanks.
I feel like this isn't like.
Open your damn bottle.
This isn't. I feel like this isn't a philosophical.
Philosophical?
I had the word, and yeah, I feel like it's not one of those.
This ain't an
questions.
anti-tropical question.
Sheldon's not
Other way.
Well, we have the footage.
That's why Thank you.
Oh, that's perfect. That's
That was
perfect.
great.
Okay, this is not a philosophical question, but if I steal a loaf of bread from you and I eat it, when does the bread cease to be yours and then become mine?
The
never
second it's
does.
in your mouth.
It never does. It's
Which-
still mine. It doesn't change.
No, once it's in your body, it's part of you. It's yours.
Yeah, but you could say
It's in me. It's mine.
okay, but you could say it was never really yours.
Because you stole
Sure,
Like,
but
you
I
didn't
made
own
it
it.
mine.
You didn't own it.
Intellectually, okay, no. Physically, it wasn't mine. I made it mine physically. I put it in me. It is now one with me, some would say.
Yeah. I
I
can agree
argue
with that.
it is my bread.
But that definition of it being your bread, it's not your
I'll
bread.
take your bread.
It's not your bread.
I'll take your bread.
I don't eat bread,
I'll
so.
take your bread.
I feel like that actually was.
I know, that's like the worst.
Was a valid philosophical question. I actually underestimated the question because I didn't think you
What would
two
you
were going to
do?
have opposing.
What would you do?
I
What
instantly.
side do you want?
I instantly thought that it became your bread once you started ingesting it because it's not
Thank you.
yours.
Thank you.
It was never yours.
But
though.
it
You
makes
didn't know
sense
it.
that it was never
No,
yours to begin
you're,
with.
so
'cause
you're a
it was
better
stolen.
person. I
So
want
that is
the
a good
bread.
question.
It's my bread.
I'm still
Can't sing.
Me neither.
I want it.
want it.
Okay. Alright. Alright.
Dead or
Alright.
Oh boy.
Well, after a good stop, boys. All here's the fucking. All I'm hearing is the fucking
Oh,
chair.
wow. Notice that. Gotta find it first. Remember, I said it was weird earlier. I don't think you were around when I said it was weird, but it's fucking weird. What's the first thing you program your brand new hypothetical AI servant to perform for you every morning?
Oral sex.
See, I formed it.
Was that a legit? Is that your actual answer?
No.
No, I formed it because that's the first thing you think of. I know it is.
Yeah, that's the first thing.
You know what?
I-
Yeah.
It's the first-
Well, actually, I think coffee might have been the first thing for me. Because that's something that I do myself every single morning. I'm like, I just want to eliminate
Oral
that.
was definitely for me.
But
You
think
don't-
of
you
how
don't
it
drink
would have to
coffee.
be like a hospital bed. Like there would be hydraulics attached to that shit.
They
It would
attach
probably
to
be
what?
loud as fuck.
Attached to what? The AI?
Like it's AI, but like I wasn't specific about
Right.
what kind of server it was.
Yeah,
but you specifically wanted to do that, so it's gonna find a way.
No, I was
It'll
joking. Though.
it by itself order all the parts it needs, schedule
Right.
the appointments for the people that need to come to build this shit,
That was-
and they're gonna know what it's for, by the way, because they're
That-
building.
that was more or less a joke, because I feel like that'd be weird having a robot on your gamer, you know.
a little
But
bit.
you don't know how a life like that thing's gonna be though. That's real. See,
but
I shouldn't be
still.
entertaining.
Still, anyways,
No, go on.
No,
I'm just saying.
my real answer would be cooking breakfast. That's for sure.
Cooking brekkie.
Yeah, mine would probably be coffee. Probably just to have a coffee prep for me, like a nice, like espresso.
Lame.
Well, I have espresso almost every morning at work because I'm like legitimately zombified. when I walk in there.
No. Yeah. So what
It
would
feels
you
good.
get your AI to do?
It's a very good question. 'Cause I didn't
But
think
you
about
don't
it.
know the answer.
No, I don't have it. That's why I asked you.
Oh, okay. So you said coffee. I said breakfast. Yeah.
Seriously, just coffee? It can do a lot.
Well, oh, I didn't know. I thought you were like actually
You just
just
said
saying
one thing.
One thing, yeah.
No, I
So
know,
what the
but
first
like
thing?
out of anything, coffee is it.
Hey, you said the first thing.
The first thing, like, you get it, you just got it installed
Maybe,
fresh.
Maybe to give me a hug.
That's really nice.
That's really sad.
Yeah, a little bit. I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah, it's a little bit.
That's
But it's nice to get that every
really
morning.
sad.
My
Really sad.
It's really nice though.
Like genuine response.
That's a nice thought. A hug. That's the first. You know what? I'll get you. Okay.
I'll give it to you. Yeah. But
What's your
I'll
actual
drink to that.
answer?
I'll drink to that.
Okay. What was yours?
Wait, for what?
Making
The
breakfast.
answer.
Making breakfast. was-
Making brekkie, right?
Making baked pancakes.
Bacon pancake. Yeah.
Making pancakes. That's what it is.
All right. Now I gotta think of mine. So
Yeah, I think
I
yours.
need a second because I don't know. So I'm probably gonna think too hard about it. I am thinking too hard about
You overanalyze everything.
it. See, he figured that out so quick. Took
Yeah.
so many people. Like,
Took me like 2 weeks.
I guess.
I mean, he's used to it. I do the same shit all the time.
Yeah.
So you know.
But
to
he
spot
takes it to like next level.
Yeah.
Well, on the spot, maybe. Yeah.
He fucking overanalyzes like everything. You'll say
a
something
problem.
and he'll dissect your sentence. I mean, I'm not
In,
saying
like-
it's a bad thing.
In like
it's
in
kind-
like a looking for
it has
intent
its
kind of way,
problems.
like a psychoanalytic type of way, or like in a just you want to know the meaning of it.
I'm trying to think very like as if it's a real thing.
What did you
would I do? What would I?
What did you bring up at? Excuse me, Jack Astor's.
I bring up too many things.
You brought
to
something up
remember.
at Jack Astor's, and I was like, that was really odd. Why'd you dissect that?
Oh, I know a lot of people have that thought. But thanks for sticking around.
No, I brought it up to you. I brought it up to you.
Did-
I forget what it was, but anyways.
That seems like something that my dad also has a problem
think
with
about
doing
it.
as well. It's just overanalyzing everything. Everything
Yeah,
is
my
a
dad-
conspiracy. Everything
Yeah.
is paranoia.
Oh no, my dad thinks that about me. he thinks like I'm probably like a woman.
Oh, he used to think that
He
about
said
me too.
that.
Not that
I don't know why I
specific
worded it like that.
Not that-
He specifically said that to me, but I've also made that comparison
Just-
about myself.
just
I'm pretty sure. Drink a lot of soy milk.
My dad would come home, and the dining room chair would be, instead of being like this, like that, and he's like, "Who'd you have over? Who's here?" And I'd be like,
Oh,
"Dad,
man.
no one. I bumped into the chair." And he's like,
That's what they all say.
"Yeah." And he's
were the
pretty
feds
much-
in here?
Yeah. It's like, I better not know anybody's over. I don't like that. So,
I love how he can have people over, but you can't.
yeah, like the other night, we went to a fucking movie, and then I get a random call from him, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, where are you? When are you going to be home?" I'm like, 20, 30 minutes.
He's
You
like,
know?
oh fuck.
Yeah, he's like, "Can you stay out a little longer?" And I'm like, "Why? Why would I? Just tell me." Just tell me what's going on.
I figured it out without even asking you. You didn't know? You didn't have a hunch?
I had a hunch, but like I didn't think he'd do that again. Because he's done it recently.
My dad said that multiple times. And
Really?
I didn't ask. I just knew. You know.
He's like, I don't want you back.
He was like, stay out until this
but
time.
you're-
And I was
yeah.
like, I might be back. He's like, stay out
But
until that
your
time.
dad's-
He just repeats. He's like,
Your
okay.
dad's also married though, so I mean he has that like
He
who-
wasn't married at the time.
But I mean, it was still the same person always.
Yeah.
For my dad, he's
Yeah.
not with anybody, so
Yeah,
it's
you're
just
right.
random.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It's
He's
different.
probably also a goat.
Yeah. But I knew who
He's
it. I
trapped.
think I have an idea of who it is, and I'm not really proud of
Sounds
his
good.
decision making.
Well, this is taking a turn for a worse.
We'll be right back.
By the end of this by the end I'll have an answer. I'm gonna think about it.
Oh, it's
Sit
gonna be
on
one of
it.
these ones that
I'm
we
gonna let it
sit on.
stew, but I'm
It's
also
like-
gonna answer other
You'll
questions while this one's
you'll
stewing.
probably forget about it.
No, I will not. It's in right here.
We're gonna sit on it like the fucking magician joke. This keeps fucking prolonging it. This we'll drop it. So.
I will figure it out
Yeah.
eventually.
So I had one. Did you end up finding one?
No.
Okay, well you better start thinking there, Cracker Jack.
What's that supposed to
I don't know. That was
We
the
all
first
know
thing
how
came to
that
mind.
went the first time. It was not a
I
good
don't know why I was
idea.
thinking of that kid with a
You guys heard
dog
that?
on the bag. What?
Hear that? Some rustling back there. I heard like a thunk.
Some wrestling.
Are you sure that wasn't your mom?
Could be a mouse.
It could be a mouse. The one that I was going to ask is, if doing something good for others makes us feel good, can there ever be such a thing as pure altruism?
Altruism being.
I still wasn't ready for that question.
Okay, I'll ask it again. Well, I'll tell you what it means first. Basically, like to do good for others that are in an unfortunate situation.
Without thought.
Yeah, for the actual
being
action.
like
of doing it.
ultimately selfless.
Yeah.
All right, so ask it again.
If doing good, if doing something good for others makes us feel good, can there ever be such a thing as pure altruism?
I'm gonna say no.
What do you think? You don't think so either?
Because if you're doing it, and you.
But
No.
some people don't do it to feel good. Some people do it, but then it ends up feeling good. You know,
It's different.
there's two different motivations, but like the
Yeah.
outcome will be the same. The action's the same, but the way you feel about it can be interpreted.
Okay,
differently.
then I don't want to be all like half-steppy with my answer. I feel like I'm sticking with no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's more no than yes. Because a lot of people just do it. And they're like, oh yeah, this makes me feel really good about myself. And people will post it on social media
Yeah.
to like step it up even more. And it's like, no.
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 So I'm gonna stick with no there.
What do you think, Joe?
Part of me wants to think no, but then I've also known people who don't do things because they gain something from it. They purely do it because they want to help other people. But that's the thing. Like people who like literally go and like go overseas and just commit to peacekeeping and just things like that, just like because they want to keep things orderly.
Yeah.
It's hard because like if you never know someone's true motivation, you're kind of just left speculating. So I'd like to think that there is a way to do it and actually have pure altruism. I'd like to be on the side of that as opposed to the other.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, the next one would be why do we dream? Why do you think
Because
we
there's a thing called DMT that pumps through our brain.
okay, not technically you. I was about to say like dillweed or dipshit or something.
You go for it.
All right,
See what I do.
you fucking dipshit.
Okay.
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 Yeah, no. Why do you think actually? Why do you think we dream?
Because our brains are weird, man.
Because our brain doesn't fully shut off.
We don't know what our brain does. It takes the wheel, and that's what it decides to show us and make us live in.
Well, you don't believe in the possibility of it being like a premonition or like any sort of.
Well, some people claim to have it, but I'm not. I'm only in my dreams, so.
Well, something could be like thematic enough to actually relate to a situation that you're going to experience, or like was deep in the back of your
That's
mind.
what deja vu is.
Yeah, it can be looked at that way, but
You could have deja vu in a dream, but I don't believe the whole dream is like just there to like give you a message.
None of my dreams make sense, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna
they're all
disagree
fucked.
with you on that.
There's always something that's different.
All my dreams are like fucked up.
Like nightmares? Like you only have nightmares? Is that what you're saying?
Not all the time, but you know, most of the time my dreams are like just messed.
Messed like in a
describe
frightening way. What do you mean?
Yeah, like frightening way. Like
Like you don't have to go deep into something that's like personally weird. To
Yeah,
you.
no, I don't know. Like whenever I have a nightmare, it's like torture, you know.
Like you're strapped down or something. You're like being forced to watch shit.
Well, not physically torture, but like torture for me to go through. You know what I mean? Like I'll have dreams
Like
where
embarrassing shit.
no,
Sorry, I keep going. Go on.
no,
Yeah.
but like just shit that you know it just stresses me out for no reason. You know what I mean? Like just getting chased by somebody or getting killed by somebody. Getting like chopped up by somebody.
Just like
live through getting chopped up in a dream.
Yeah.
Just like high
And
anxiety
you're just like
situations.
those little like pieces after that, you know.
What the fuck?
See, I've heard of that, and like I know other people who've had that, but like it still fucking gets me every time that you don't wake up after the first chunk, because like that's what happens.
You know, and
to
a lot
me.
of the time I don't wake up. It's too late for me to wake up.
That's crazy.
You know?
How is it too late?
I know the feeling because
Do you-
I've had dreams like that too.
It just keeps going.
You're not ever. You
It just
can't.
keeps going.
You don't
It
have a
doesn't-
thing where you're just able to snap. Maybe it's because I'm such a fucking weird. Like
Well,
when I do
no,
get
no,
sleep,
no.
it's
Like,
so.
I have dreams where like I'll wake up before it happens, but most of the time it just keeps going. It doesn't stop.
I've had where I've fallen asleep, had a fucked up dream, woken up, and then went back to sleep, and like it started pretty much in the same spot.
I've had that
Like the
happen
same
too.
dream.
Yeah, the
Like I
same
went
dream.
right back into it, and I was like, "What the fuck?
Yeah,
like, is this just a pause play button?" And it's like, "Ah, bitch, you're back."
Had it like once or twice ever, I think.
It was terrifying because it was like, "Is this all I'm gonna dream now from now on?
it
The
was
next time I sleep,
it was
it's
a
just gonna be a
bad-
continuation
Was
of
it a
this."
bad dream or was it just like you just?
It was fucked.
Oh,
It,
mine
it
wasn't.
was fucked. Like it. I don't want to explain it because I was young and it sounds really comical and like cartoonish when you explain it. But
then that's why you have
the
to
dream,
explain it.
In the dream, it was absolutely fucking terrifying, and it was never ending. It just kept going.
Well, then what is it?
It started off really cool, so I got a dragon. It was a real dragon, but it was like long as shit. It looked like Shenron, kind of. You don't know? Do you know that? Right. It's Dragon Ball, was the thing I watched when
that
I was young.
dragon, yeah.
and it's a long ass green dragon.
It's the main.
It was like that.
Oh, I know that.
It was
dragon.
long
It's-
as shit.
I just didn't know his name.
Right.
I didn't know his name was Elrond.
Yeah. So, I get the dragon like partway through the dream. Up to that point, it was just a normal fucking dream. Like it was a weird fan. Like I was a fucking kid.
Yeah.
All I watched was cartoons and like played fucked up video games.
Same.
So, I get on this fucking dragon, and as I expect reality would be, if I had a dragon, like my young brain apparently couldn't make up some like light cartoony fucking like floating on a dragon. Like this thing fucking took off, like
Holy shit.
was down, and like one flap, and this thing was like bye, like,
Fuck.
and like I felt the force of it in the dream, so I was just like clinging on for dear life for like hours. It felt like, and this thing wouldn't go down. Obviously, it doesn't like it wouldn't speak English.
So like you felt like there were hours of real time being spent in the dream.
yeah, it
You haven't had
Yeah.
dreams where it's felt like it's been
It-
hours?
it feels like
it's
days
always
sometimes.
It's always 30, 40 minutes.
no, dude.
Yeah.
I've been
No,
I've
had hours.
I've spent
Oh, fuck.
days with people in a dream and then woken up and I missed the people.
No way. Days?
Days.
Holy shit.
And I like remember shit that I did with them. It's just like normal shit you do with friends. But
That-
like
I've
I did
had that.
shit.
I've had that happen before too.
Yeah, and like you grow attached. But
Well,
it's like
I've been attached, but not over days of time. I think I just knew them beforehand or something in the dream, and it was like I just was continuing time I spent with them in the dream.
No, I've had days before,
That's
like
crazy.
reoccurring like themes and stuff like that. You know, like it could be like a week span or a month span.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
It's like being trapped in a world for that amount of time. So
Yeah,
like,
and like you start to believe it, you think it's real, You know.
Yeah, you kind of like
you wake up and you're like, oh, I need to call this person or text this
I've
person.
had that,
Yeah.
but like not to the.
And they just didn't exist.
Yeah, not to that extreme. That's crazy. I've never heard of that. I've never, because that's like literally like just like the whole idea of like cryostasis is that you don't know how long you're in there. It can feel like 5 minutes or 50 years.
Yeah.
Something like that. You know.
I haven't dreamt like that in a long time, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
With that.
Like time dilation is weird in dreams, and it's even weirder when it happens when you're conscious.
Yeah.
Because it's happened to me. It takes psychedelics to do it, like heavy.
Yeah. No.
Like, it is. It's frightening, but at the same time, it's not like frightening to the point where it ruins the mood. It's just such a weird like phenomenon to be a part of, and like realize that only like 20 seconds have gone by, but it feels like 2 minutes, like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
You can't tell the exact time, but it is nowhere near as close, and it almost makes you feel like if somebody were to be walking close to us while that was happening, like, what would they have looked like? It never happens when other people are around, which is also really weird.
Right.
Like, a lot of my trips have either been with two people that I've known for my whole life, so like there's no weird feelings whatsoever. Like, it's always a comfy environment.
Yeah.
Or completely alone. So like two extremes, but it's never happened with anyone else around other than those two. And like they experience it too, and we're always out in like usually a forest when it's happening, or like a nature
Yeah, it makes
trail.
a lot of sense. Yeah.
It's very fucking weird, and technology doesn't work when you're. I'm specifically talking about acid, like 1-PLSD, which is like a cousin compound to it. It's the exact same, pretty much.
I'm sure you wouldn't be able to use your phone. You're like
You can. It's very fucking hard. It's
Yeah.
odd.
Like I'm sure you can't like type.
It's like
coherent
seeing it for the
sentences
first
or
time
anything,
again,
yeah.
almost. When you like the first time you're tripping and you look at your phone, you're like, like you gotta fucking. It's too much. It's
Yeah.
way too much. Too many colors. Too many different like moving parts.
Well, I bet the screen's really bright. Like,
It's so bright and everything tracks. When you swipe the screen, you see all the icons like an extra few times before it fully
so it
goes
kind
away.
of ghosts the items.
Yeah, but you see it in full color still. Like you could grab it. Like it's still there.
Okay.
Like I stood on the top of a fucking mountain. Like it wasn't a mountain. Over it was a hill.
It's a
But it was-
fucking pile of leaves.
Yeah. No, it was a hill. It was probably like 20 feet up.
Okay.
We were standing up there, tall enough to where the sun was like starting to set, and you could see our shadow on the floor, like below us. Like we could stare straight down, you could see our shadow. And we started fucking like just doing this really hard, and it looked like fucking Ganesh. Like we had like a bunch of arms. It was
That's
great.
interesting.
It was so cool. It's a very fun thing. Like I cried multiple times that day out of pure joy. Like either laughing so hard, like I just had like a river coming down my face. Like I've seen one person cry on acid so hard, he pushed, like as he started to cry, he pushed his palms into his eye sockets, and it just shot like literal faucets. I've never seen it. Like I've never seen the dude cry up until that point. Like it was a fucking moment.
That's the furthest extreme.
It just shut. It was like he hadn't cried ever. All the tears just fucking like evacuated. It was like they were trying to hit the floor as fast as possible. It was fucking crazy.
You know what would be so cool is if there was an actual camera to record what you were seeing. You know.
I wish. That's the thing, though. The only way to get into it and understand what I'm talking about is to take it.
Yeah.
Like, you need to have a day for it and have the right people around and, like, have kind of a rough idea of what you're going to do. Because you want to have some sort of fucking itinerary.
Because if you
or
do
else
nothing,
you're going to lead yourself into some weird spots.
Yeah.
Like, I always recommend being outside and, like, away from a city 100%. Like, you need to be where the fucking butterflies float and you got some nice tall grass to fucking run. You gotta be a hippie for a day. You gotta try a little bit to just like let go, because you can't have any fucking expectations going into it, or else you're gonna, first of all, you're gonna underestimate it, 110% because you have no idea. It's a different feeling than anything else I've ever done.
You know, it's pretty wild. We just seamlessly went from dreams to LSD like that.
I mean,
I totally forgot we were talking about dreams.
They're not that dissimilar.
you can have some fucking weird dreams. Like, some people would probably say if I told them the story of that light we saw, we were on I never brought that up. We were on acid when that happened.
Okay, so...
That might change your idea.
Wow,
of it. That'll change your idea. Of
That
it. Don't
should-
let it change your idea. Of it.
changes everything.
Everything. It happened.
Everything.
It happened. It happened. What? Okay,
Ghost,
so you're in my
Ghost Unreal.
shoes.
Ghost Unreal. Ghost Unreal.
Based off of that. Okay, fair. I
Not
guess.
real. Not
Sure.
real.
All right.
Anyways.
Wow, you
I'll
really,
drink to that.
you really should have prefaced that though. That should have been
Yeah, that
first.
should
No,
have been a
because I
fact.
didn't want you guys to be fucking interrupting me the whole time with but you were on acid. Because that's fucking annoying, and I wanted to tell the story. So I do not regret that one bit. You guys would have done the same, because I've already tried to tell the story to other people, and it's exactly what they fucking do when you preface it with,
Fair.
we tripped when this happened.
Fair, but
It was at the fucking tail end of the trip, though. It was after the heavy part. Like, if
Okay, but-
people who have done it know, there's a thick of it part where there's a good 3 or 4 hours where, like, it's a lot, and then it
Right.
starts to wean off. It was in that part. Like, nothing was even close to as, like, hazy or, like, moving as it was before.
hate to say it, but you're still on acid.
Yeah. But you will... I don't
It's
know
still
if
in
you
your
will.
system, though.
If you eventually do it, you will understand that you still do have a grip on what is around you. Like, there's no way that was a figment of all 3 of our imaginations at the same time, seeing the same shit, seeing it dart and fucking go away. Like, it was casting light on everything around us. Everything. As if it was
That's the one.
a lamp of light. We saw it. Like, it was the same branches. It wasn't like new shit. Like, it was projected.
But that's the one thing that I give him credit for is because how could all 3 of them have seen the exact same thing at the same time and have the same descriptive, you know?
Like, we can all tell that
explanations.
story probably pretty damn close. I'm the one who was in front. Joey, I know, can say it.
Just
on
the other
same-
3 friends,
Evan.
I don't know where
No,
you're
no,
talking about.
no. No,
I wasn't
I don't
even there. I wasn't there.
No, it's only because.
Wait, who are you again?
It's only because one of them refused to look at it the whole time because he was
So one
fucking
just
shook.
closed his eyes?
The one who had it right here. The only reason he wouldn't do this is because he was fucking afraid. Like, why else would you not do it? It's a light. I would have done it. If I would, okay, I don't know if I can say that because like I was pretty shook and I was standing like 8 feet away from it. It was fucking weird, man. It's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me in my life
Yeah.
compared to anything else by far. Nothing comes close to that.
That's crazy.
And we didn't even get to like touch it. It didn't say anything.
Didn't even get to touch it.
Didn't get to touch it.
What is your definition of evil?
It's a really fucking weird question.
It is.
I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah, that's tough. What do you consider evil?
There's a lot of people that I enjoy have done a lot of fucked up things that people would consider evil.
I have
Because
to agree.
when it's done, I bet all those victims think some guys are pretty evil that I find very funny. And I am never gonna take it away that they are some of the funniest people I've ever seen, but
Yeah,
it's
Bill
not
Cosby,
cool.
right?
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby. I was thinking the same thing. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I think it's like an unconscionable disregard for any remorse. Like you just don't feel bad for anything you do.
So a sociopath.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
it's
Yeah.
But like to the point of like a psychopath, like sociopath.
I
is-
mean, you could intertwine those two easily.
you could, yeah, depending on the actions afterwards. But I think just a complete disregard for any wrongdoing can be considered that.
yeah,
You know,
it's a pretty
because I mean
logical answer.
there are many examples of evil actions, but I think to be evil, you literally have no regard for anything. That's bad. You know, you don't care about people at all.
Right.
You know, I don't know. Guys, what are you thinking about? Literally nothing, or is there something you just don't want to say it?
It's just.
No, it's not a podcast topic.
Dun, 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 dun. Wait, why?
Your eyes.
Why?
When I said not a podcast topic. Oh my god. I've never seen. I've never seen a double take so fucking intense in my life. Jesus Christ. Did you see that?
No.
No? Oh my god. Your eyes. It was like that lady who can literally like have her eyes out of the socket.
Oh. Okay, calm down.
No. You popped. See, I can't burp.
Which is
I'm-
insane to me.
What do you mean?
He can't.
You don't know that yet.
literally
I
cannot burp.
can't burp.
I've known.
I
him
can
for
sit
so
here
long.
and drink as much pop as you can give me. I'm not gonna burp. I'm gonna feel like shit, but
No,
I can't
it's
burp.
for real.
I'm physically incapable.
That doesn't make sense.
It does not make sense whatsoever. But
Apparently, there's a surgery I can get.
So you've never burped in your life?
When I was a baby, rarely.
I've known.
I get
So
like
what-
these
what-
weird hiccups. I still get them sometimes. They're very odd. I actually know somebody else. I have a friend that has the same thing, but he has this weird form of burping he can do where he sounds like a baby Godzilla. Like it sounds like there's a tiny one inside of him going like, but like he opens his mouth slightly, you can just like hear it, like it's way down there, but it's making its way.
Yeah.
It's weird, but I can't do that. I have these weird like hiccups that just have like a little bit more hiccup to them than normal, but it doesn't sound like a burp. It doesn't sound remotely close to a burp.
So what is it? What's that called? That you
I don't know
can't
what it's
burp?
called actually.
Okay,
I think there's a subreddit for it. I was told there's a subreddit
Yeah,
for
you
it.
probably
but I never
followed
found
it.
it. I didn't find it. I didn't know what the name was. It's probably called like No Burp or something. But I'd be fucking so happy if I was right about that. It was. I'm gonna look later.
No burp. Yeah.
Yeah,
No
but
burpers. Yeah.
it's essentially there's this flap at the bottom of your esophagus. It's like a second butthole. The first one, technically, if you're going in order. This first one.
Yeah. No,
it's like-
I get it. Yeah. 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 We're good. We're good there. Yeah.
You got it?
We got it, yeah,
So, anyway, the fucking flap don't work. It's just like, it's always open.
So
So I
why?
was having a jolly time.
Why would you want to get the surgery? Like why? Why would there even be?
I don't.
No, but I'm saying why? Why would that be an option?
I guess some people want to be gross and burp.
All right.
Yeah, just one of those weird bodily functions that doesn't really like.
Well, I mean,
It doesn't sound fun. It doesn't look fun.
It alleviates pressure.
Yeah, but
So it's
It's
like
kinda
because
gross.
you're not always gonna fart, and it's like.
like you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm not.
I mean,
calling everyone
I guess it's
pigs.
fair for you because you don't really drink anything that's carbonated.
No,
so you-
because it hurts me, and
So
I
that's
can't burp.
why you get the surgery then.
But I have no desire to
That-
drink. Pop.
I know, but I'm saying
Yeah,
that would probably alleviate that pain. That's what it sounds like.
But I don't.
Well, yeah, obviously
Yeah,
not.
I
But
don't
I'm
drink
saying
it, so-
I'm saying that's why the surgery makes sense. I couldn't put
For
two,
some people, yeah. If
I
they
couldn't
want
put
it.
2 and 2 together for some
Yeah.
reason. But anyways,
I don't know if other people get the same pain I get, but I imagine it's probably similar.
I'm sure it goes hand in hand.
It's not fun. Because,
Yeah.
like, it's just a pressure buildup to the point where it hurts so fucking bad. There's nothing.
Well, yeah, because you can't
go
burp.
anywhere.
You can't burp. So
yeah,
that's,
it's just.
that's why they get the surgery. All right, we learned something new today.
I don't know why I
Right.
can't just poke a hole and, like, it'll just
I don't think it works that way.
say it.
Is there inherent order in nature, or is it all just chaos and chance?
Chaos. Mike?
Inherent meaning collected, or
No,
It's
like
fucking sharing.
like, pretty much like is there actual order, like just pure unequivocal order?
no?
No, you don't
The
think
world,
there
the
is
world,
order?
the world is absolute chaos. Nothing is.
All by chance.
You think it's all just chaos and chance?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's luck of the cards.
And that's why it's so frightening.
Yeah.
There's some things where it's like, maybe this is it, and then I kind of blink a couple times, and I'm like, nope.
You know what? Me too, man.
Yeah,
Get it?
it's gonna be on a T-shirt sometime, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
What about you, Shaw? You didn't answer.
Yeah, you didn't answer.
Yeah, I think order in nature is so it's kind of it's either the comparison of everything's random or everything's predetermined. That's kind of the whole idea of that question.
Yeah,
Like,
which
it's
side do you fall on?
Lately, I've been thinking that things might be just predetermined,
Predetermined.
but at the same
Did you find God?
no,
Not yet.
Never.
He only found Jesus.
No.
He's working his way up.
Jesus.
No, I think lately I've been thinking like every action that I take, everything that I'm interested in, everything is just a construct of someone else's puppeteering, and that I've
So, simulation.
kind of
It sounds like
there's
simulation
some
theory.
yeah, but there's kind of like this part of me that's thinking that there are certain actions that I have to take in order to keep myself alive. So there's like biological truths that I have, or it's just a predetermined thing where I'm like a play toy or whatever, and if I don't get my batteries on time, I'm gonna fucking not work anymore. So it's like one of those things where if I don't get food and sustenance, I'm gonna end up not existing.
Remember what I just said about it being frightening? You get thoughts like that. That's frightening. I'm not saying, because that's not wrong. Like,
Yeah.
I have similar ideas, but the fact that you come up with that based off of just shit that you've experienced through your whole life is fucking frightening.
Yeah. And it makes you think that everything has just been someone else's design. And you're like, nothing is an original thought. Nothing that I say really has impact. Because whenever you get into situations, you have like conflict or even just conversations with other people, you end up revising some of it when you're out of it. You end up thinking, oh fuck, I should have said that, or I should have reacted this way, or I should have done this, I should have suggested this thing. And you're having these ideas as to why you should have done something different, but like you didn't do those things. You did exactly what you did, and that's it. And
Do you think that's because it was somebody's design for it to go that way, and then like you weren't able to have those thoughts in that moment?
That's the thing, because like that's the whole like blocking off anything else, and you're kind of just they're enjoying seeing the process of, let's see what this person does to do this thing. Let's just make them go on this path.
So you think somebody's playing Sims with us?
I'm thinking that that's not entirely out of the realm, because we can't prove that it's not real either.
You think Sims was just an outcry? Like that whole video game series is like, we're trying to fucking tell these idiots.
Like one guy was like, dude, I figured it out.
Yeah.
We're all
It's
into
a video
shit.
game.
Yeah.
I gotta say, to think like that fucking sucks.
Right? It does fucking suck, but it's an actual thing that happens where you just like, you get stuck in your own head.
In that case, the end of whatever the fuck this is would literally just be turning it off. It would just go black.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that be true than to although that contradicts what I said before, where I want to see shit hit the fan and watch everything.
Yeah.
Because that would also be equally cool, but I also mentioned how I don't know if I'll even stay conscious because it's so fucking intense that what if it's too much for your brain to fucking take in at one time and it just shuts off because that's too much. Like if you literally saw the moon explode,
oh fuck.
If you watch that thing, and like you see shit coming towards the thing you're living on, the giant ball, and that thing is now shooting at you, you don't think you might pass out from seeing that? Like how real that is, and that's what you're living in now? You don't think that would just destroy your fucking consciousness?
I don't know how I'd react to that.
I don't either.
It'd be a
but I
frozen
think
thought.
I honestly, if I experienced something like that, I'd probably pass out. Like that's a lot of thoughts at once. That's a lot of emotions. That's like you're watching the beginning of your death right there.
Because it also affects your gravitational.
Yeah,
pull.
if that happened, it's done.
Yeah, everything's done.
And I'm sure if there is intelligent life out there, they know that. Moons are a common thing in galaxies. Right? Right?
Mind blown.
But yeah, like
it's just bye.
Yeah.
It's just, okay.
But that's the thing too that I always think of, like also like disasters of any kind. It's just somebody being like, let's see this happen. Bloop, let's see this happen. Boop.
But I'm not afraid of that. Like what I just said is kind of it's pretty it's like a movie.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Is
Not
that
the one that I've
2012?
seen.
Well,
What?
we're gonna make it.
2012?
But, like, if that happened and I did stay alive to watch it all, like, I wouldn't trade that. Like, that's fucking insane to have that experience before you die. Sure, it's scary, but there would be a point where you realize, like, you can't fucking go back. Like, you might as well be as good as you can in those last moments. Like,
Yeah, it'd be like watching
the best
like,
person.
9/11.
What?
on a global scale.
Yeah.
Everybody would be their worst or their best. Like, you go one of two ways. You pick, like, there's no in between in that moment.
Yeah.
You either, like, ditch everyone, like, you don't give a fuck about anyone else in that moment, or you're, like, being as close as you can with everybody that you want to be before it's done. Like, I wouldn't trade that shit, because that would be, like, living a whole life in, like, a really short time.
Yeah, like
right away.
The ultimate fulfillment, like the actual connection that us humans lack.
That's what everyone wants, is to have that type of shit where, like,
Chaos.
it literally takes the end of the world for everybody to drop their bullshit.
Yeah.
Where they think it's going to be over, or something's about to happen
Yeah.
in a small relationship where, like, everything's going to shatter for people to, like, actually...
Like real love.
At least people like me.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what love, that's human love, is that like, connection to, like, everybody around you. Like, when catastrophe hits and everybody bands together, it only takes that instead of just everyday normal monotonous shit.
You need more of that.
Like, nobody cares about that stuff. Everybody's fucking mad at each other, you know. And it's like just petty shit, like people having road rage and stuff. It's like,
we're
why
love,
does-
man.
Yeah.
Peace and love.
Exactly.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. You know.
To be that guy.
Yeah. But I mean, it is all like fucking. It's scary, man. Like all that shit. Just to think about, like, what if it all is just.
But we're in
Or
it.
what if me speaking, I've created everything, and you guys don't exist.
I don't know about that one. I don't think I believe that one, because there's too much random shit that happens on the other side of this fucking ball or disc,
Yeah.
depending on
Yes.
But at the same time, you guys might not even
your
exist,
beliefs.
and I'm just creating all this.
There's somebody roughly on the other side of this shit
Ball.
that's having a completely different life experience right now.
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe some that are having the same.
Yeah.
But the fact that that's happening, I don't believe that shit, because I wouldn't, except in this rare case, I'm not ever thinking about them. I'm not creating them.
That's the
That's
the
just like
thing.
a simulation theory, but you're super selfish about it.
Yeah, exactly.
you're, like,
100%, yeah.
you're like, nah, this thing made everything.
Yeah. That's like me being the creator of the simulation theory and knowing that, like,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But like, I think it's not like
Narcissist.
it's not out of the realm of possibility for any of these wacky scenarios to exist. But I think like the more likely thing is that we all just were fucking monkeys and we evolved and shit, and then now we're here and more intelligent, but not as intelligent as the fucking alien beings that are in the universe somewhere watching us.
That Tic Tac video is pretty convincing.
Tic Tac?
The one that was recently declassified from the... They call it Tic Tac because it looks like a Tic Tac on the radar of the Air Force jets that they were flying.
Sheldon thought you were talking about TikTok.
I did, because I completely forgot that actually existed, and I remember what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna yell.
That's
Tic
it.
Tacs. So the...
Degenerate.
the Tic Tac.
Sorry, I feel stupid. Sorry, audience, I feel retarded.
That's cool.
Water all over myself.
Is basically just this small aircraft, what they call as a UFO.
Mm-hmm.
It moved without any resistance whatsoever, which people who've been fucking looking into aliens, ufologists is what they prefer to be called, for the last fucking 60, 70 years, whatever. It's probably way longer. It's definitely way longer.
Yeah.
What am I saying? Prehistoric people. There's fucking cave carvings of people looking at shit in the sky. It's kind of a sign of UFOs. They didn't know what they were. They were unidentified. Whatever. I'm fucking going too deep. Anyway, you're shaking your head for like the last 10. Oh, I did it again. I went too deep and forgot.
No, I wasn't shaking my head at that. It was just,
No, but I did it to myself.
yeah.
I got distracted. So,
The Tic Tac, yes.
yeah. It's called anti-gravitational engine or something. I'm going to look it
Are you
up.
talking about like that shit that Joe talked about?
Yeah, because no, well, he did, but there was also that guy was on Rogan. He was on JRE.
No.
The pilot who has the video
Oh.
from the cockpit of the radar looking at this shit.
Yeah.
He was there talking about it. And I don't know. It has something to do where it manipulates gravity waves. And that's how it basically falls into place. It doesn't propel itself with any sort of explosion or rocket fuel, nothing like that. It's just manipulating the space around it so that it like slips through the pockets of gravity. And it everywhere it goes, it's like no resistance. It's just able to go however fast it wants in whatever direction it wants, whenever, and it just fucking whatever point it does whatever it wants because it just manipulates everything around it, and we haven't figured that out. Nobody on the planet's ever figured that out.
This
But-
Tic Tac?
Yeah, there's video of it. It's been admitted that thing was on our planet doing whatever the fuck, just flying around before we found it, like before the Air Force saw it. It was during a fucking test exercise. So like they just flew over and saw it. They could have just kept going. But of course it pops up on the radar. Or I might be wrong. They saw it and they could see it through the cameras, but it may not have been on the radar. That was the thing. Like it was jamming the radars and it was like blipping in and out. It may have. You should watch the podcast, different podcast, but it's pretty easy to find. But they show all the video. They show everything. Find the pilot's name because that's kind of important. But
That's just crazy. Like the fact that like
that's something real. Like that's 100% real. That happened. Unless you believe in the whole fucking global cover-up where like they're just trying to make us stupid and believe in things that aren't true to like distract us from what's really going on. Which I don't know what that means.
That's some
but
Eddie Bravo
that's
shit,
a
dude.
dumb yeah, essentially. It's like, I don't look it up. Look into it.
Look
into it.
Oh man.
I'm just a guy. I'm just like...
Yeah, so I mean, the fact that they're manipulating gravity to the point of we, as people, don't even understand how to fucking do any of that shit. That just proves that there's other life forms, right?
That's like, proof that they're manipulating gravity.
But do you think humans are manipulating gravity, or are the technology is coming from somewhere else?
Like they call it Tic Tac for a reason. Like it was very small, so if anything was in there in the technology that was doing it, it was fucking tiny. You need to read that fucking book I gave you.
I'm sorry. I will read it. I'm sorry.
Because there could be a whole other conversation going on here. It's a lot deeper, and it's cool as shit. But it could be something that's controlled.
I don't think
it was there. Dude, it's tiny. It's tiny. If there's something living in that, it's like a mouse. It's literally the size of a mouse probably. And it's that smart. Its brain is this fucking big and it's
I don't know anything about this space Tic Tac.
Maybe it doesn't even have a
I don't know anything about this space Tic Tac, but I don't think it's manipulating our gravity. That's all I gotta say.
So what do you think was the explanation behind what it was doing?
It's not manipulating our gravity. It's manipulating just gravity. Like, it's not ours. It's just all around. It's the whole fucking galaxy.
Well, I'd have to see the
universe.
Video. I'd have to see the video to really...
I can show you the video.
Yeah, show them the video.
You literally just Google Tic Tac UFO.
I can't remember it, though.
Chad Underwood is the pilot.
You what a fucking Chad.
A lot of this UFO stuff is...
It's not sci-fi, it's real, dude.
I'm not saying it's sci-fi, I'm just saying it's a lot of baloney.
How is it a lot of baloney?
Do you want that? I'm sorry about this, I don't know why that's happening. Okay, so I was wrong about the size. It's 40 feet long, apparently.
Jesus.
Which is worse, in my opinion. She looks upset.
Is that Woody Allen?
It's definitely
Woody Allen.
Yeah, I get the
Is
idea.
there more footage of it? Or is it just talking bullshit? Oh, there's more at the end. Exciting. It's just standing still. Okay, it's just that.
Yeah.
The video's longer on the podcast.
I'd have to see it to believe it.
Okay. Alright.
Oh, you're gonna see it other than on video unless you're a fucking military pilot.
Yeah, get your own plane. Go look for
Won't see it.
fucking
You
aliens.
literally be seeing the same shit they're seeing.
Won't see it.
You don't know that. Just gotta fly out in the middle of the ocean. And hope you didn't get shot down by someone. And just look for aliens. It seems like that's where they like to fucking mess around and test out their fun little tic-tac inventions.
In the ocean.
What shit?
Yeah, where there's literally nothing around to hit. And they could probably go into water. I don't know that. I'm just guessing. If they can do that shit, it's not waterproof? I don't know.
I have no idea where we're going with this.
My phone's waterproof. I don't know.
Well, what shit do you...
Rambling. You want to change the subject? You
Yeah.
got a question? You got a question?
Yeah, you got a question?
Do you, though?
No.
Fuck.
What shit don't you think is real that isn't a conspiracy, but is like widely kind of agreed upon a bunch, you know, through a vast majority of society? You know, for instance, aliens is kind of, you know, one of those things that everybody kind of thinks, like, leaning on the side of we don't know exactly what it is, but we do believe that there's other life.
That light could have been an alien.
Or, you know, like...
Probably wasn't, but it was weird.
Yeah. Is there anything like that you are just completely dismissive of?
Yeah, probably aliens.
You don't believe in it at all?
No.
Really?
You think we're it?
You think everything's random chaos and we exist, but nothing else like this? You know,
And that's
you think we're that special?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Why? What makes you think that?
Huh.
I just.
Is it?
I
I
don't-
mean, it's
I don't
interesting.
believe there's any other life form.
But
At
why
all.
don't you believe that? That's
Like there's things we don't even know about in our jungles, in our fucking oceans that we would call aliens. But you don't think that other things exist out on other planets that we know are habitable like Earth?
Not in this galaxy, no.
well, we're not talking
But
about. We're
we
just talking
know
about in general.
Not okay, maybe not like okay in the Milky Way, sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
But
I'm sure.
other
I'm
galaxies,
sure.
like in
I'm
the
sure.
universe?
I'm sure there's other planets that are like it.
There's
but
gotta be. Like I think it's
I don't-
pretty far fetched to say there's nothing.
I don't think there's a more superior being than us.
Wow.
That's a pretty
You give
I'd
us a lot
say
of credit as people.
brave.
I'd say there's probably like amoeba and shit, but I wouldn't say there's anything like.
I think there's most definitely
Superior.
aquatic life on other alien planets.
Yeah.
That we know have like water and a fucking atmosphere and
I'm not doubting that, but
means for life.
to say there's superior beings flying UFOs, I don't believe that.
Okay. Even though you saw that, and there's hundreds of thousands of videos online of, obviously a lot of it's bullshit, but there are some that make you go, what the fuck did I just see?
There's too much bullshit out there for me to really know what to believe. You know.
So you truly believe that we're the most intelligent and advanced species that
That's
is?
for I
That's
don't
right.
want to think that.
I don't.
That
believe
this is the peak. We got Cheeto running
I
the fucking
definitely don't
country.
think that's true.
That's
Cheeto
that's a
running the-
rundown joke. I'm upset with myself. Maybe it got you though. It's okay. I like
Did you always think that, or was there a point where you started to believe that?
No, that's what I've always thought.
Really?
Yeah.
So aliens, whenever it was a conversation in any means, it was just completely dismissive. Like, no, you're.
Yeah, I've never really cared for it because I've never really believed it.
Wow.
So
Damn.
everyone's got their own beliefs, right?
Like.
I mean, some people would literally swear on their life that aliens exist because they had such close encounters. I'm gonna put in.
That's fair to them, but you could also say the same thing about ghosts, right?
Yeah, 100%. Some would say that the same thing. Some people don't believe in ghosts. They believe that like what people think are ghosts are actually aliens fucking with them for what. That's a really
Well, you just
like
kind of spun the
selfish kind
same
of
idea on its head.
view on it, but.
You kind of just took the same idea and made it sound the same. Like ghosts and aliens, you pretty much said people who see ghosts are just thinking aliens are creating that in front of them or some shit. Or
Well, no, they
are
think they
aliens.
are like it's not ghosts aren't a thing. It's just aliens. Like
They think aliens are like they look like
they think
apparitions?
ghosts aren't real. Like it's actually
Oh wow, I never heard that one actually. I didn't know that was a thing.
like paranormal, like ectoplasm and shit. Some people think it's like an alien thing. Like,
Oh wow.
but I believe it was proven that like ectoplasm is a result of like it's weird radioactive shit that has to do with our body. I don't know. I have to look into it again. It's been a long time since I watched that documentary.
What life-altering things should every human ideally get to experience once in their life?
Life-altering?
Life-altering.
Would you consider sex life-altering?
I was gonna say that.
I don't know if it's like it kind of. I mean,
I would.
It can.
well,
be.
you realize that's like you can do that now. Like that's a thing that is great and it happens, but there's a lot of other things. Yeah, no, I don't know why I'm trying to like go against that. Yeah, it's pretty life altering.
What do you think? You're on the same page?
Yeah, it fucking blew my mind the first time I had sex.
I think and this is gonna sound too cliche because it's me, but like falling in love and then breaking out of that, I think everybody needs to experience what that's like, in order to understand how different your psyche becomes once going through that process, because you do see the world completely different. You haven't experienced it, but
in what way?
You do experience it in the sense of
how you view it different.
You had this idea of what something was, what your expectations were, what you wanted something to have, what that person was, what they brought to the table, everything that encompassed that idea, that physical feeling that you got being around them, that instinctive urge to just be your comfortable self, your most vulnerable self, every little aspect of it.
Yeah.
And they're just taken away. And then you have to recover from that. You know, it's the same parts of your brain that are affected by withdrawal from drugs. That's the same part of your brain that's activated when you actually go through a breakup. So that loss, I think, to experience that, because it does make or break people. Some people break up with somebody, or they get broken up with, and they never fully recover from it, or they dive into addiction of some kind.
Yeah.
I think being able to get that experience.
Heroin.
You haven't experienced it, so you don't know what I'm talking
nectar.
about. I've partially experienced it. So I kind of have, I have a basis of what it can be, but to have that, and it's because your mind is thinking one thing only, one idea, one, everything, this entire thing that you kind of establish yourself to knowing and being comfortable. It's the ultimate level of comfort, because not only are you, you're vulnerable as a person, just by yourself, but you're giving that experience to somebody else, and you're showing them like, hey, this is all of me. Because no matter how close we can be as guy friends, when you're with a woman, there's a different side to intimacy that they see, and a different side to you that they see. And that part can only ever be shared with somebody that you regard in that sense. Like, you'll never share that with anybody else. And maybe things that you don't even realize you're doing, just like little tendencies and things like that sometimes you'd be ashamed of or whatever, but it just comes out as a full circle comfort thing. And I think everybody needs to experience that feeling, and ultimately that loss of that for the first time, to then fully know, okay, because a lifetime can be short or can be very long. So like, to think about, let's say you live to 80 years old, how many times are you going to experience a relationship with somebody before you see the red flags, if you've never experienced true depth of that? Because if you've experienced that once and it's ended, you want to avoid that at all costs. So you kind of then do work your life around that idea at times, whether it be like your career or like who you associate yourself with at the end of the day. It's like, if that's the ultimate goal, is to have that human companionship and not die by yourself and be the only one, or your group of friends, but like you don't have the same element. Like, your friends can be as high as possible in terms of your priority list and everything, and your comfort and everything like that, but then a significant other is just a tick above that. Like the closest thing you can have to a full-on companion is that. Not even family can get that close. Yeah, I think that you get to that point where they're like, you have your wife or whatever, and you have children and that sort of thing. There's nothing closer than that. That's the closest thing you can get as a human being. Having that partner, having that person that you navigate this life with and you share everything with, and mentally and physically. I don't know.
Yeah.
A
dog is pretty cool.
Huh?
A dog is pretty cool. No, I'm glad I asked. I'm glad. Yeah, that was good.
So I'm still gonna go with sex. So.
Do you think so?
No, that was a really good answer.
I can't even imagine what happens to people that have been together for 20, 30 years and they separate and they never wanted it to be that way, but something happens. Or they die suddenly, the other person dies. And you have to get over that. And you never fully recover from that.
It happened to my aunt. She was married to her ex now, I guess, 20, 30 years. And then he cheated on her or whatever.
Fuck.
Now they're going through like a nasty divorce and that kind of stuff. He's always been like a deadbeat, and she was always like, you know, bringing in the money. He's trying to take like half of everything.
Fuck.
Even her pension.
Holy shit.
Yeah. She's like a nurse. Yeah. So.
But well, some people are dirtbags.
Yep. Yep. You don't really know somebody.
They're not even worth their contents.
Yeah.
Sorry if that was too rough on a family member.
No.
I feel like you're on the same page.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's not a family member anymore.
Right. You said X.
So you think, so basically the contrast is either positive or negative. You need to experience the highest of positives to have a life-altering experience, or the highest of negatives to experience a life-altering experience.
You can go either way. Depends on how you look at it.
So something that was life-altering for a lot of people, but not me, is discovering what death was.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's huge.
Was that big for you?
I didn't really... I still can't grasp it, personally.
No, but just like understanding that people, it's some way succumb to death, and they're just gone. Like it just,
Yeah.
they're, like
Yeah.
realizing that moment.
Yeah.
Going
Like
from
that
not
was that
knowing-
life altering for you?
Yeah, it was, because I didn't understand it.
See, like I
still
don't like that.
I still
was
don't
this way, but like it didn't. Like there was no click. Like that's fucked up. Like it is.
Yeah.
It's dark, but it's real. Like I just automatically flipped to that acceptance
Yeah.
fucking stage. It was like it's still weird. Like I still think it's weird, but I found out pretty early.
Well, have you, I mean, other than your dog, have you experienced loss to the point of being able to see it as kind of a devastating thing? Or even with that, did you know that, like...
No, Toby was probably like the hardest personal one. Yeah.
Because like I feel like too, like there are so many things that happen. I mean, like our society has been so like accustomed to death and everything being like part of the culture, that we kind of get nullified to the fact that like that's finality. It's done. It's over. You know.
Yeah.
You see like a quick video of somebody getting attacked by like an animal at a zoo or something, and you're like,
Well,
That's it.
you fucking paid for that.
yeah. In some cases, yeah.
Literally.
But just like that idea, like I remember the first time that I started to get like I got that panic, like oh fuck, like not like I was too young to to formulate. I was just panicking. I was anxiety out of the fucking wazoo, and I was watching fucking Get Rich or Die Trying, the 50 Cent movie, by myself, and I remember just because obviously it's like trying to play like his life story. So at the beginning he gets shot 9 times, and then he gets shot in the face, and then like seeing that as a kid, and then realizing like most of the other times I've seen bullets hit people, they just fall over and they don't move anymore. And then like they threw it, like the themes of the movie is that like he's trying to become successful before he dies, that sort of thing, because obviously it's given.
Yeah.
And then like there's this like confrontation, and then people start to die and everything like that, and then the theme of death is brought up over and over and over again. And then I began to panic of like what happens after that? Is that it? Is it over? What do we do? What becomes of that? And I was like maybe 7, 8, 9 years old at the most, and I was watching that.
So what you were saying is you were too young to watch that movie.
100%. 100%.
Too young to do a lot of things I did.
That movie had a very weird shower scene where they were fighting naked and their dicks flopping around. You remember that?
Oh god,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
50
movie.
Cent
You
did
have.
that.
I showed you that movie.
50 Cent
Did
did
you?
that?
Yeah.
50 Cent did that?
Yeah, it was weird. Terrence
Like,
Howard was in it.
I feel like he wrote that scene just to be like, nah,
It was weird.
I'm gonna be the biggest guy in the scene.
Yeah, it was weird.
That's definitely why.
Yeah, it's a bad rating, but I at the time, I was like, oh.
So rated fucking 18,
Yeah.
fucking rated just A.
Yeah, no, I still haven't really accepted the fact because I'm still pretty new to it. Like my first one that I've experienced was probably like 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
So it's still pretty new. Still pretty new to me. So
Yeah.
I don't get it.
When was the first
Yeah, it's
time
fucked.
that you experienced that? Like, just death of somebody that was in the family or something like that? You had to have been pretty young.
It wasn't even somebody that's like a direct family member. It was my cousin's grandmother.
Oh.
So it was like it's very close family anyway. Or
Yeah.
no, sorry, my cousin's grandfather, not grandmother. Grandmother's still alive. But he had like a rough last act of life. Like he was pretty much completely debilitated.
Yikes.
Like it was rough. But when he finally died, like that was a rough funeral. But I was young and stupid and like really insensitive. That's
Why
the only
did
reason
you-
I remember is because I was the worst child at that funeral.
You just
I
run
didn't
around.
get it because I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have been brought to that funeral in the first place. I
Yeah.
blame my parents, but I shouldn't have been there. I was way too young. I said a lot of dumb shit that I remember to this day because of how, like, I'm sure some people still look at me now and they remember what I said to them as a little fucking idiot. Because, like, I had no idea.
Do you remember?
Like, I'm not saying it. This is
Oh.
just bad. It's not even worth saying.
I
This
do
is
remember.
this was a bad day for me.
Jeez.
It's probably one of my worst in terms of morality and being there for family.
Oh.
But yeah, I was like way too young. I think it was like maybe 5 or 6.
No.
Yeah, no, I do remember going to like a funeral really young. Like it was my babysitter's mom
Damn.
that passed or whatever. And I went to the funeral. I was probably like 10, something like that.
Yeah.
And like I didn't know what it was.
Really?
Yeah,
At
like-
10, you didn't know.
It's
it.
confusing. You know
Yeah,
why everyone's so
I-
fucking
I-
sad? And you're like, this is weird.
Yeah,
Can I go home and play toys?
Yeah, no, but like I just remember like the babysitter's kids were just all running around. I was just kind of there watching it.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
It's weird.
Experiencing it a little. Well, it's still weird. It's always weird.
Yeah. I remember, like, my grandfather's funeral was one of the, like, it was in 2011, so I was, like, 14. But, like, I understood what was going on. Like, I fully understood, like, that was it. He was at the end of his life, and I wasn't going to ever see him again.
Yeah.
So that one kind of hit me later on more than it did in the moment. I mean, just because I did know that it was, it was one of those things that was inevitable, but it still proved to be something that, like, I within the first few years, I'd still have dreams about him and just, like, second guess whether or not he was around or not or anything like that. And, like, being able to see the open casket and, like, see him just, like, lifeless there, and it was like, whoa, it's fucking trippy. It's really trippy.
I'd say that's life altering. That was more so to me than learning about death.
like
Because
seeing,
because I did see their grandfather, and I'd seen. To be honest, it's kind of how I'd seen him most of the times. I'd always seen him because he was always laying down,
No.
and he always wasn't really like he couldn't talk. He kind of just like I said, it was bad.
Jeez.
So like it was pretty similar to how I'd seen him, but that was the closest I'd ever got to him, and just seeing how it's like it's just a shell now, like the thing on the inside's off, like
Yeah.
it's not doing any work anymore. And the fact like that's all this is a like the brain doesn't need the body, which I find like infinitely fascinating, but also creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
That like evolution from monkeys, like that brain didn't just shrink and like have a smaller shell that's like more rigid, not squishy and easy to break. But I don't know if I was designing his we would have been a rock. Would have been a rock with a brain inside of it.
Yeah, I've never really thought of that, but
Why are we like?
Yeah.
Why can't I do this?
I don't know. Why can't you?
That's the thing. Like, also, like primates are much less fragile than we are. You fucking gorilla, like a silverback.
We got soft. We got words, and that's what ruined us. We started talking.
Yeah.
Progression.
Yeah. There's another video you should watch that I'll link you to that talks about how insanely good primates' photo memory is.
Okay.
Like, in terms of symbols, they can memorize, like, I think it was 20-something different spots on, like, a screen, say, this big, like a touch screen, imagine, and 16 spots that are all numbered 1 to 16 randomly, not in a grid formation, like, literally pinpoint random spots all around a screen, pop up quick, like, a second, not even exaggerating, like, bop, it's gone. And they memorize every single spot in the order, and they click it within 2 seconds themselves. That's a game that they play to test their fucking brain and how good they are. They crush us in everything that has to do not with language.
That's
It's
insane.
literally us learning how to use our tongue that fucked us in terms of like living primally, successfully, I guess. I mean, this stuff's pretty cool. I can press buttons.
Posable thumbs.
I mean, they got thumbs.
Yeah, they have thumbs too, dude.
Yeah, but not as.
Actually,
Nice.
they have better thumbs.
Stronger thumbs.
Yeah,
they got pads on them.
Yeah, dude.
But they have fingerprints too, which is cool. What if you like have a fucking ape counterpart that's got the same fingerprints?
Isn't that crazy how people still think that like we don't exist because of them when we share
You just
so
let
many
them have their
like it's
fun.
just so crazy. Like
Let them do
it's
that.
insane to me.
Yeah,
It's not
flying-
worth convincing them anymore.
Flying spaghetti monster. Yeah.
What?
Flying spaghetti monster.
What's that?
It's a church of flying spaghetti monster. You never heard of it?
Church? You need to.
It's a fucking church, dude.
I'm upset. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, it's an actual thing.
Yeah. It's just as crazy as it sounds, by the way. It's fucking
Flying
insane.
spaghetti monster. People
Yeah.
worship this.
This is something
Yeah,
that
and,
people see as a deity, like a god. This is exactly what.
He's got
And
more
people-
arms than Dinesh. Ganesh.
People wear
It's
like
what they do.
I think
strainers
it's
on their head and
Ganesh.
stuff like that.
I missed that.
Said people wear like strainers on their head like that.
It's an Australian thing.
Yeah. Same with Jediism. That shit's on Australia too. They're fucked up there.
Oh boy, that guy doesn't even have the hair to put through the holes. That's a waste. Oh, I scrolled. Oh, I scrolled.
What happened? Oh, that,
What?
Is
That's what.
that the picture?
That's
Yeah.
the picture.
Dude, my heart hurts.
Like I don't know how.
yeah, it's a real thing.
I don't get it. but
People,
it's the best.
Okay.
It's the fucking church of the flying spaghetti monster.
The display is off, but I believe that. Oh my lord!
Oh.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm sure it's a joke religion. Maybe it's serious.
No, those people are crazy.
But
From down under.
it's
You know what's going on down there? They believe in spaghetti monsters down there.
I mean, you have so much shit around you that can kill you. You gotta fucking worship whatever you can. in
Yeah,
all
man.
honesty.
You got a fucking giant spider in your shower. You gotta pray to that
Yeah.
fucking meatball. A spicy meatball. Oh boy.
All of it is just so egregious to me, but that's fine.
It's glorious.
Yeah, but it's funny how it's just...
If this is a simulation, this is the right one. We got a flying spaghetti monster. Sure.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm spaghetti.
I am spaghetti.
Well,
Yeah.
It's,
What?
I don't know if it's right to like cut it off right now in the middle of a great conversation.